And it may be ultimately that you can go without breakfast and metabolically that suits you really fine. There's been a lot of talk about not having breakfast recently. And ultimately, it may be that that doesn't suit you, but you feel that you have the resources and that you have regulated your energy at different times of the day enough that you get up and it just feels like your energy is very sustained from the day. But the circumstances that we live in the modern world, there's a lot of psychosocial stress. We have a lot of restraints on us in terms of when we can eat, and the amount of energy that we might be putting out in terms of journeying, emotional stuff going on, work demands. All of that stuff might mean that it feels like in order for you to balance your blood sugar, in order for you to feel that you come down off high excitation, that you need something very grounding in the morning. So it's really worth playing around with. And for many of my clients, it's very true that having a decent breakfast in the morning, starting the day not just with what they eat, but actually taking time out to sit down to start the day with space and with self-care and nourishment and conscious mindful eating, that actually makes a massive difference to what they take into the day after that. Not just in terms of nutrition, in terms of nourishment, but in terms of attitude and in terms of the importance of self-care in order to be able to look after others and to not feel that we're subject to overwhelm or burnout. So some suggestions to play with, and there are more recipes in the book, and there are more recipes in the meal plan that's available on my website. But some suggestions that follow the de-stress way of eating that I lay out in the book, which is really a kind of flexi paleo attitude where less grains, least possible, just to follow the way that our hunter-gatherer ancestors were eating. And particularly if you tend to digestive or immune issues or inflammation, then at least a period where you bring those right down allows you to explore what suits you and what you might need in energetically. So these starchy carbohydrates, and to be clear, all sources of food from the plant kingdom contain carbohydrates. It's not just the starches. But to give an example here, I have added in some sourdough rye crackers and sourdough rye bread is what I can suggest as a kind of starting point if you don't necessarily want to go kind of absolutely no grains in the morning, but you feel you want that energy. And here we've got some rye crackers with protein and with an alkalizing source. So as I mentioned in partly the healthy protein part and also in the alkalizing foods section, when we have that dense protein, here is some smoked salmon and on the other two is feta cheese. When we have that dense protein, which gives us those building blocks for the day, having those alongside something alkalizing means that our body can work most efficiently.